Can you spot a bad kitchen design? You may be able to easily spot a bad kitchen design because you're living with it every single day. You're frustrated with the lack of storage or cluttered countertops or just poor overall layout. You're likely looking to make a change, plan a renovation, and finally update that kitchen. Well, I'm here to help. I'm Mark, and I've been designing functional kitchens going on 25 years. I'm going to show you a bunch of pictures in this video to see if you can spot bad kitchen design. And I'll explain how to fix these issues as we go, so that you won't end up making the same mistakes with your kitchen. All right, I'll start you off with an easy one that you likely may be dealing with already, or someone you know is. These pictures make it quite apparent that these kitchens are cramped. A bad kitchen design will jam you and everything you own into that kitchen and expect it to function, but it just won't. And don't give me the excuse that these are all small kitchens. Your design may need to be a little more intentional, but it can be functional no matter the size. Now look at these examples. Instead of trying to focus on a galley style kitchen, focus on an L shape, utilizing the width. This kitchen does that and also utilizes the built-in storage on one of the walls for more capacity. Here's another smaller kitchen, but there's plenty of width, and the lack of wall cabinets makes the space feel even larger. Just remember, the key here is intentional design, focusing on function and being realistic with size constraints. Okay, here's another super easy one. Can you guess the issue? Just in case it wasn't clear, here's another one to drive the point home. This one has double trouble, a sink and appliance in the corner. A sink or appliance in the corner is a huge waste of space and poor use of landing and prep countertops. It can also cause unneeded congestion in your kitchen. Now, it can work in some kitchens if you have the room, but then if you have the room, why would you do this anyway? And you need to have height. Having more height is a visual trick that will help lots of small kitchen design issues. Overall, it's better to have an appliance or a sink on a straight run of cabinetry that allows for good use of adjacent countertop spaces and doesn't create awkward angles for appliance doors or cabinet doors to open. And let's face it, a sink looks better under a window. So don't go making this change if you already have a better solution in your current kitchen. Can you spot the next sign of a bad kitchen design? Feels like I'm being way too easy on you. If you haven't guessed it, yes, having a trash can stuck out in your kitchen somewhere, it's bad design. I'm sorry. I know some people love the convenience, but come on. No one wants to see that in a brand new kitchen renovation. It's not hard these days to solve this issue. Trash pullouts are a thing, and it's part of your designer's job to show you options for placement and type of trash pullout that would appropriately fit your kitchen. As with all kitchens, the size of the space will determine how intentional this will need to be for maximum function. Just make sure you don't overlook this one. Now, I've talked extensively in previous videos about this next telltale sign of a bad design. See if you can spot it. Might be a little harder. The issue here is that this lady cannot pull comfortably into her island. She has improper overhang and she needs to be seated at an angle because if she was facing the island directly, her knees would be jammed into the back of that island panel. And how about this lady? She is sitting far back for more than just a photo op, you know. There's no room to pull up. Improper overhangs will cause you to sit sideways or back from the surface. And this woman's island has so little overhang that she needs to sit on top of her island just to enjoy a cup of joe. Sad. And gross. Obviously, this is just a fun photo, but there is truth to it. Bad kitchen design always has improper overhang for seating. You need to allow at least 15 inches of space, but also be mindful of your height and do what you only hear me telling people to do. Measure your lap. Island seating needs to be comfortable, and there's no shame in having an island with no seating, especially if it's just not a priority, or if it causes the next indicator of bad design. Now, this one might be hard to spot, but let's see if you can guess. Hopefully you've noticed that these islands are too big for the kitchen. Even this small little island, while just a product shot, should never be used in a kitchen like this. It's too big for the space. Oversized islands cause unneeded clearance issues, making the kitchen less enjoyable space to work in. And if you have the space for an island, be sure to appropriately size it so that you can get the maximum function out of all the kitchen. If you have a large kitchen, a smaller island and a separate table might add more to the space than a massive sea container sized island in the middle of your kitchen. And you may have lots of room for a massive island, so by all means, go for it. Just pay attention to sizing and clearance details. You might not get this one right away, but you should. At first glance, it seems like this is just a poor design choice. Don't use mirrors as a backsplash. It's not the right decision. I'm using mirrors here to highlight the real issue of bad kitchen design: lighting. Lighting can make or break a kitchen. People use mirrors because it reflects light and gives the space a bigger, larger feel. But if you just properly light your kitchen in the first place, you will get both of those things. So how do we light kitchens properly? Well, like this. Just ends the video there. No, of course not. That's horrible. Here's a very quick breakdown for proper lighting. Pendants should be focused on downlighting, meaning the shade directs most of the light to the counter surface. Under cabinet lighting is non-negotiable. If you don't have it, you're toast. Opt for strip lights installed close to the front of the wall cabinet. And pot lights should be strategically placed for maximum beam overlap and function. You want to avoid shadows. I have a really good video about this. I'll link it below. Here's another easy one. Is it an insult to let you try to guess this one? The infamous open shelf is a sign that you could have a bad kitchen design. Not always, but quite often these are a bad idea. They look great in pictures, though it is actually hard to find a picture of one that's curated somewhat tastefully. But when it comes to practicality, they just don't stand up. Extra cleaning and organizing and the inherent cluttered look will hold you back. If you can't keep your current kitchen uncluttered, don't fall for the open shelf trap. And if you do include them, do it sparingly and in an area away from the main prep and cooking zones. They work better in a separate coffee bar or a breakfast nook, away from the main kitchen prep areas, and in an area where it makes sense to display things. Open shelves are here to stay, by the way. They've cemented themselves in modern design, but that doesn't mean they're right for you. This next one can be hard to spot. It happens a lot in kitchen design, but it should never happen to you in your kitchen renovation, especially if it's a new build. The size of your kitchen can add complications to this one too. You'll need to work hard at making this right. Have you seen it yet? Check this one out again. Look where that fridge is located. When an appliance, especially one that is so frequently visited, is buried inside the main work zone of a kitchen, bad design. Your fridge should be placed in such a way as to not interrupt the whole kitchen when in use, while at the same time being placed for function in tandem with the other work zones. The fridge is part of the kitchen triangle and therefore can easily fall prey to bad location. That is, if we blindly follow the kitchen triangle rule, which we shouldn't. It's a great start, but in modern kitchen design, this rule should quickly be broken to consider the entirety of the functional space, which is far more detailed than a sink, a stove, and a fridge. But if you don't know where to start by thinking about how the fridge's placement can possibly disrupt the kitchen's workflow. Then click the link below and book a one-on-one consultation with me to go over all the details of your kitchen to make sure that you don't end up with a bad design. Between the two of us, we can figure anything out. I hope to meet you. All right, one last kitchen. Have a look and let us know in the comments. Is this good or bad?